Good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For today, our course is about telephonic techniques. And to those students who are not aware of me, let me give my brief profile. I am Dr. Luisito Masanga. I have been in the corporate for 34 years. My area of specializations is are facilities and administration management, marketing management, project management, construction, energy conservation, occupational safety and health, and security management. With regards to my academic experience, um, I have been 11 years no, in management and marketing program, both in the graduate and undergraduate studies. I'm also an accredited occupational safety and health practitioner of the Department of Labor and Employment, Philippines, certified security professional, and real estate license broker. All right. We have some learning outcomes, my dear students, and we will explain the basic concept, principles, and theories of telephony techniques. We are going to provide some applications on the techniques in developing skills in telephony. Okay. Our learning objectives is to help students build confidence in applying telephony techniques and to synthesize how telephony techniques build customer service. Very beautiful. And for our module content, we have what is telephony, the difference between a telephone and a cell phone, parts of an effective call, foundation of an effective call, different intent of the telephone calls, and customer service on the telephone. Now, let's start the ball rolling. Uh, what is telephony? Okay, it is the field of technology that involves development, application, and deployment of telecommunication services for the purpose of electronic transmission of voice, fax, or data no, between distant parties. No? Distant parties, it could be A and it could be B. All right. So this one is in Asia, probably this one is in Europe. Okay. Or it could be within Asia or within Europe. So that is telephony. It is a field of technology, no, that is applied and deployed through telecommunications like this one. You know, you see a very huge antenna. Okay, so the word telephone comes from two Greek words, meaning to say, right, far and sound. Actually, as you all know, telephone was invented in Boston in the year 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell, and it came out and originated as an advocacy of Abraham Bell because he wants to help teach the deaf. So it's a an advocacy of helping the deaf people. Uh, so he experimented some methods and techniques on how to improve the hearing process and eventually came up with the telephone no, in 1876. All right. What is the difference between a telephone and a cell phone? No? A landline telephone is a phone that has a wired connection to the telecommunication grid. Like, for example, here in the Philippines, the telecommunication grid of some utility providers are PLDT, Smart, and Globe. No? And it is connected to the grid by utility lines. No? And this type of phones, landline phones, can be either corded or cordless. No? While cell phone, it works by sending and receiving microwave frequency signals, no, over a wireless cellular network. And of course, for cell phones, we have two major cellular network here in the Philippines, and which is Smart and Globe. Okay, so that's the difference. Cell phone, it's microwave frequency signals, while landline, it is connected to the grid, no, telecommunication grid by utility lines. Okay, all right. Since we know already the difference between a landline phone and a cell phone, let us understand now what are the parts of an effective telephone call. There are three parts. You have the introduction, the purpose of the call, and the conclusion. Okay? In the introduction, what is it? Uh, in the introduction, both parties establish their identity, no? Who are you? How are you? No? And convenience of the call. The purpose is it involves communicating the needs, no? By asking well-constructed questions. Okay? And of course, the conclusion is that both parties reach a verbal agreement on the points made during the call and specific action that needs to be taken. Okay? So let's do an application of these three parts of an effective call. Okay? Or in the introduction, you identify yourself immediately to get the call off to a positive start. Hey, I'm Dr. Masanga. I'm calling from the Philippines, and I would like to talk to Mr. Muhammad Amir, like that. And the purpose of my call is like this. Okay, so the person that you are talking to understand, no, the uh, who are you and what's the purpose of your call. And of course, you ask a well-stated questions to obtain the the desired action. Like for example, if I was able to speak to the secretary of Mr. Amir, maybe the secretary will tell me what is your intention of talking with Mr. Amir, no? So you have to state the purpose of your call. And the conclusion, close the call in a friendly tone with an understanding between both parties of the actions that needs. No? Thank you for taking my call. Have a good day. No? Okay. The next is what is the foundation of having an effective telephone skills? There are two foundation. Number one is communication skills. Let's talk about this one. No? In communication skills, major we have four major means of communication. We have speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Among the four major means of communication, the major critical part is listening. They say, rule of thumb, we have to, in customer service, we have to listen 20% and 30% talking. That's the rule of thumb. Listening, this one is talking. Okay? So, listening involves our all senses, no? This is the sense of hearing, interpreting, evaluating, and responding. And of course, because this one is the sender of the message, you are the receiver, okay? All right? And this is the message. So in order for you to encode the message coming from the sender, there are some barriers within this parameter. And these are some roadblocks, no, that you will encounter. Maybe one of the roadblock is the background noise. There is a lot of noise interference. The background is quite not audible because of different voices that you hear as background noises. Now, how can you overcome this? No, there is one secret in overcoming this. Okay, one secret is being ready to listen actively. No? Again, I would like to emphasize 70% listening, and we need to involve all our senses. No, keeping your emotions in check. Second, and listening for specific informations and asking questions when necessary. Okay. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that statement, ma'am? I cannot hardly hear you. So, okay. You must ask questions. And of course, you say thank you as a form of etiquette. Okay. Number two, foundation is questioning skills. No, we have the different type of questioning or category of questioning. We have open question. These questions call for more than a yes or no. Often begin with, who, what, where, when, why, and how. While a closed questions, these questions are used primarily to verify information. No, often these questions begins with, are you, do you, can, could, did, will, would. No? So, and of course, the last is the forced choice questions. These questions call for either or a response. No, the listener has the choice between at least two options. No, okay. Now, let's move forward and let's discuss about the different purpose of a call or the intention of a call. There is some events or circumstances wherein the purpose of the call is an operator assisted call. No, operator assisted call are the most expensive type of telephone calls. So as much as possible, let us avoid them. No, and because the operator assisted call will somehow include the following. There are collect calls. In collect call, the person being called must agree to accept the charges for the call. No, that is a collect call. Or it might be a third number billing. No, there is a third party involved. Such a call is billed to the second party. Okay, and there is also one classification which is a person to person. In a person-to-person call, such a call involves telling the operator that you are going to speak only to that specific person. If that person is not available, you will not pay for the call. No, so there is, uh, uh, you know, a purpose and an instruction that you gave to the operator for operator assisted call. Number two is incoming telephone calls. Be prepared to answer the telephone when it rings. No, you must have a notepad and a pen that is beside you to take down notes. No, and as well as there are some with telephone directories. Okay, and there are also some automated answering machines, no, for incoming telephone calls. When answering the phone, there are some basic, rules. One is answer the phone no later than the second ring. No? Identify yourself in a friendly tone. Okay? Use the caller's name. Gather as much information about the intent of the call and do not interrupt the caller. Give accurate information. Okay? The next one is screening calls. What is this? It is a call using judgment to determine whether you should put the caller through the desired person by being friendly to the caller without revealing embarrassing or unnecessary information. A basic example of this, if you are calling some government institutions, you are calling the CEO, which, your call is going to be screened by the executive assistant, no? You are calling a very important person like the president of a certain nation, no? You cannot just go directly to the direct line of that person in authority. There is, a second layer or a first layer that has to answer and screen your call. Now, the fourth one is transferring a call. Transferring a call simply means that there are many number of reasons. It would be best for the caller to speak someone else. No, it is important to be thoroughly familiar with specific procedure for transferring call. A basic example of transferring call is that, for example, you are calling a certain company, and there is an automated answering machine that you have to press 1 to talk to the operator, press 2 to talk to sales and marketing, press 3 to talk to accounting, so forth and so on. So these are different types of transferring calls using technology through an automated call. Message taking. Messages may either be left as voicemail, yeah, an automated machine, for the person being called, or you can write down the message. If you are writing down the message, use a telephone message form to fill out in the appropriate parts. No, why? Why? Because in a message form, the date is specified, the time of the call is specified, the caller name is specified, and probably uh, the return call or return contact number of the caller, or even an email. And of course, there is a portion there, what is the message of the caller. So these are uh, some tips that it is preferably that a message form is going to be used. Now, aside from the intent of the call, there are also specialized telephone calls and how to handle these specialized calls. Number one is information call. A call made to gather information require careful thought to determine exactly what information you are trying to obtain. And of course, if this kind of information call, we must activate our, listening skills and our questioning ability, no? So that we can clarify the information that is being sent to us. Scheduling appointment call is one also of specialized telephone call, and this is one of the course here in ICSA about secretarial procedures, no? In scheduling appointment calls, you must know exactly when you want an appointment before placing the call. No? You must have that information on hand prior to the call. Have all information in front of you when you place the call. If you are making calls for another individual, notify that person of the scheduled appointment. No? It is very important that you must have all the informations with you when setting up an appointment. No, you cannot be a trial and error. No, it should be like this. I'm sorry. Be specific. No, be concise. Okay. Another specialized telephone call is a complaint call, and I think there is a short course on this in ICSA about handling customer complaint. No. Uh, Complaint calls is obviously it is a complaint and can somehow result to a negative experience by the nature of the call, no? Be prepared to deal with emotions in as positive as fashion as possible. In complaint calls, my dear student, the important technique of handling complaint call is empathize with the caller. You try to be putting yourself in the shoes of the caller. so that you can understand more on the emotion and feeling of the caller. And we discussed this already, collection calls, no? Collecting money over the telephone is a challenging experience, and right now there's a lot of scam that is ongoing. And so be careful of how you handle some collect calls. And of course, there is also an outbound call, which is very popular in a call center. This is telemarketing calls. This is outbound, no? Selling a product or a service over telephone. But at least you have a script to read, no? All right. And of course, there are basic guidelines for these specialized calls that we mentioned. One is it is wise to follow the steps when dealing with specialized calls. No, always respond in a courteous and professional manner, like what we studied before. That good manners and right conduct are called etiquette, because the foundation of etiquette, even in telephone calls or telephony technique, is showing respect and consideration to others. Give, of course, accurate, candid, specific information. Be prepared to deal with rejection and negative responses. Not every day is Christmas, no? Not every day that you are, will encounter a cool-headed individual. There are also irate callers, and which is very profound, existing in call center. Offer a variety of positive solutions and end all calls in courteously. So these are very basic. So the foundation of having telephony technique is communication skills, listening 70%, talking is 30%, and always build up your questioning skills using different technique like open-ended question, close-ended question, or a mix. Okay, and of course, another strong technique is showing respect and consideration to others. Okay, and now we will go to the customer service on the telephone. So we all know that customer service and is an extremely important aspect of telephone skills, no? Because it will, mirror image your personality to the uh, recipient of the call, no? Of the message. So a good customer service via telephone calls that again show respect and consideration, maintain an excellent voice, quality and pleasant tone of voice, no? And then, sometimes we increase the rise and the pitch of our voice, no? Okay. Speak at reasonable speed, no? Do not eat your words when you are talking to the recipient. Select appropriate vocabulary, no? Simple words, concise, understandable words is good enough. And of course, listen intently when servicing a customer, and be prepared to offer responses that will be delivered in a positive manner. So again, telephony technique is very important, and it builds also a a brand image to our to the recipient, because we are carrying the brand image, no, of our company. So that is why customer service, all call center agents, before they are released to the on the call floor, they will undergo training about product training and how to handle irate callers. No, of course, in irate callers, the best technique is empathy. Okay, all right. All right. So there are some famous quotes about about communication, about listening, no? According to the famous Peter Drucker is one of the management the guru in Harvard University, and according to Peter Drucker, the most important thing in communication is hearing what is not said. Meaning to say, the most important thing in communication is hearing the non-verbal language, no? What isn't said. The verbal, non-verbal uh, message of the caller, no? That is a very, very profound, no, saying from Peter Drucker. And another one, a famous writer also, a literature writer, Ernest Hemingway. And according to Mr. Hemingway, when people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. No? Very beautiful. When people talk, listen completely. Completely is the wholeness, no? So that because the practice right now, most people never listen. And according to Diogenes, we have two ears, no? And one tongue so that we would listen more and talk less. So my dear students, let us always remember that in telephony technique, the foundation is communication skills, and one of the strongest means of communication, to sum up, is listening skills. And the rule of thumb is 70% listening and 30% talking. And of course, one of the telephony techniques is let us always show good manners and right conduct through respect and consideration to others. And one of the most important in handling customer complaint through the telephone is empathy, right? So, thank you very much for listening and for your assessment, a formative assessment. I have here a video that I attach, no?
Welcome to
Okay.
the Retail Network.
In this video, you are going to watch, maybe watch several times,
Hello?
okay, to
Hello?
comprehend
I can
the
ask you for a
video.
number?
And you are going to write a
You have the
reflection
phone number already?
paper about
No,
the
I want to
video,
ask you for the
about
number
the
for
video
my
that you
friend.
watch.
Directory assistance will be
And the
able to help you.
format
One
of the
moment.
paper should
I've
be
got, who's
APA,
this?
American Psychological Association.
I'm looking for the
And
number
the
for my
minimum
friend.
number
Sure,
of
what would be
words
the
is
last name?
250.
His
Now,
name
what
is
are you
Hamad
going to
Gebrecher.
reflect? No?
Do you want me to
The
spell the last
concept
name?
is this. What should
Okay, you
we
want to
have
start?
done
I should
better
start.
to help the
Sure.
customer?
Oh, I should
No?
start.
So again, enjoy,
B-R-E-H-H-E-R.
have
Brecher.
fun while you are doing
B-R-E, I'm sorry, what
your
was the other letter?
reflection paper. And I'll
H-H-E-R.
see you next time
X-E-R?
No,
in
for Brecher. It's
another
the same letter two times.
motivating course
Oh,
from
B-R-E-K-K-E-R?
ICSA.
No,
Thank you very
H-H-E-R.
much and masalam.
B-R-E-H-H-E-R for Brecher.
Is it B-R-E-A-K-E-R?
B-R-E-H, that is Brecher, no?
So I have a B-R-E-A-K-E-R. Would that be possible?
B-R-E-H, Brecher? No, Brecher. Gamotge Brecher.
What would be the first name?
You don't know Gamotge?
I'm sorry?
Gamotge, you know?
I'm connecting to my supervisor. One moment.
The supervisor.
Supervisor Mark, thank you for waiting. How may I help you?
This is Maris?
This is Mark.
Mark.
Yes.
Oi, is a broch. Because I thought that they was gonna connect me to Gamotge Brecher.
No, sir. This
Ah.
is the supervisor. Can I help you?
Supervisor.
Yes.
This means you're the best supervisor?
yes.
No, because you understand my joke? Supervisor. So maybe you have a cape, Metavi makes you a supervisor.
That could be it. How can I help you, though, sir?
Oh, I was looking for the number for my friend Gamotge Brecher.
How are you spelling his last name anyway?
Brecher, B-R-E-H-H-E-R.
That's B-R-E.
B-R-E, Bre.
Yeah.
H-H-E-R, Ger.
S as in Sam?
No, as in Brecher.
C-K-E-R? Or
Brecher, no, Brecher.
okay, B-R-E. What's the next letter?
Ech.
X like what? Xylophone?
No. You know Solomon nog?
I can't understand what you're saying. You said B-R-E. What's the next letter though?
Ech. B-R-E-H-H-E-R. R.
Okay, after the E, I don't understand the letter after the E.
Okay, maybe I should give for you a sentence, a different
What's
sentence.
What's the word that it begins with? I
Oh,
can't.
so maybe if I give you a sentence with this sound also, maybe you know over there. Right?
Okay, so I need to know how you're spelling the word though. I apologize.
No, this is very,
It's B-R-E. What's the word that begins with a letter?
Okay, so I make for you a sentence with the same sound.
No. Just what's a letter that begins with the word after the E?
Gamotge starts with the same letter.
What's that?
Gamotge and brecher also the same letter.
H?
What?
Are you saying H?
No, gamotge is like this. Gamotge brecher went to the store. Is a sentence with that sound.
But I can't understand the letter. I really cannot understand it.
Oh,
I said K, I said H, and then C, and you said...
I'll tell you what we can do. I go through the alphabet, and when I come to this letter, I stop.
Okay, go ahead.
I have to think.
A,
B, C, D, E, F now, right?
F,
G, H,
I, J, K, L,
M, N, O,
P.
Ich verstehe nicht. L, M, N, O is one letter.
No, L, M, N, O, P.
Ich hab gemeint, since I'm young, L, M, N, O is a letter, L, M, N, O.
Sir, I really need to get this letter though from you. Okay, I have other customers on the line also.
We go weiter. L, M, N, O,
P,
Q, R, S,
right.
S, T, U, V,
Right.
W,
X.
X,
Yes.
X,
Right.
Y,
Right.
and Z, and X.
Well, what's the letter, sir?
X.
It's X.
No. X was there. W, X, Y, Z, and X. The last letter.
Okay, it's B-R-E. What is the next letter, sir?
Oei, ze brug. I-R. Supervisor, you know.
Okay, sir, if you can give me the next letter, I can help you. If not, I'm going to have to disconnect from the phone.
Disconnect
Yes,
his phone?
Yes,
He didn't pay the telephone bill?
I need for you to give me the letter, sir.
I'm giving you the number, the letter. The letter?
What is the letter, sir? B-R-E. What's the next letter?
It's so hard for me.
X? Is it X?
Oei,
Yeah, I need to know.
Oei, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Okay, sir. I'm going to have to disconnect, okay?
His
I'm
phone,
sorry.
he didn't pay his bill.
Thank you.